Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Sorry I missed a couple of days. Had some personal family stuff to take care of, and I do have some stuff to talk about today. Update on my challenge account. I want to be completely honest and open and have full disclosure on this channel with you guys. So I have some updates for you that we're going to talk about in a little bit. Market open in about 7 minutes, 6 minutes. So we're going to get there. You can see I cleaned up my chart a little bit, made some changes, revisited the books, and we're trying some new things here. So I hope you guys enjoy. Questions, comments, all those things, leave them obviously in the comments down below. I'll try to get back to every single one of you guys that comment. And again, welcome to the Trading Phoenix, where I am trading live in a challenge account through Funder Pro, link in the description down below. And I am coming on here live to try to become funded and eventually profitable and go full-time as a trader this year in 2025. Those are my goals. And I'm doing that here live for everybody to watch. One, to keep me true, and two, so that other new traders out there can see what it's actually like to go through this process instead of having to sift through all of the baloney that's online with the fake tradings and people only posting their profits and never their losing trades, and yeah, they made this much, but how much did they lose the next day, and all that stuff. So I want to be completely open and honest so that people can see what it's really like to go through this process. I've been doing this now for 3 years, 1 year with my head down, totally focused on it. So take that for what it is, and however you guys want to look at that, you know, whether I've actually been trading for 3 years or 1 year. I've been kind of dilly-dallying with it for, you know, the 2 years prior to last year. Last year, my goal in the beginning of the year was to sit down and take trading serious and to treat it like a business. And I learned a lot last year. And I wish that I had done that 3 years ago. And so I am making progress. It is slow and steady. And it's not easy, but it's doable for sure. And I think it's doable for anybody who can manage themselves. That's the biggest part of all of this, is not the charts, and it's not learning your entries and your exits and how to read price action and all that stuff. All of that is teachable and easily learned. But the managing yourself and your expectations and your emotions is the part where I believe most people fail. That's the hardest part of this. So that's why I'm here. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys learn something. I'm here to learn things also. So yeah, let's do this together. If you guys, anybody who subscribes to the channel, I'm gonna try to send out an invite to my Discord. Trying to work on that and figure that out, because not everybody, you know, some of their your accounts are private, so I can't get an email or whatever. But if you'd like to join the Discord, you know, comment down below, and we'll figure out a way to do that. I'll try to leave a link also, maybe. I don't know if I can do that. I think I can do that. We'll figure it out. Anyway, welcome. Got some things to talk about in a little bit, but I do want to focus on market open here and see how things go, and then we'll chit chat. Okay, so what we see so far is sideways trading pre-market. So I don't know. I don't know if I have really a bias yet. It looks like we might be trying to get back to a fair value gap on the 4-hour mark. We still have pretty decent ways down if that's what we're aiming for. Or we just might be sitting on a support here. Market's been pretty bullish so far. Some definite volatility also so far this year. And now that the inauguration is done and policies are being implemented, and there's hopefully some more clarity on how things are going to be, we'll get some direction. All right, so here we are, market open, first candle of the day. Still getting some support down in this area here so far. We did have some data come out this morning, and it was job data again. The same, every Thursday we get our initial jobless claims and continued jobless claims, and it really came in kind of around expectations. It really wasn't any kind of huge data that would move the market in any direction. I don't believe anyway, in my opinion. And obviously everything I say is just my opinion. It's not advice. Don't copy me, all that stuff, right? I am a new trader. I am not profitable. I am not funded yet. So please do not take anything that I say with any kind of, expectations. I'm just here learning. The same as most of you. I'm hungry. So I'm getting some chop here first thing in the morning. Let's see if we can get that to settle down. One of the things that I'm going to talk about today is I took a couple of days off from trading. I took a hard look at what I was doing, what my strategy was, and I looked into what successful traders are doing and how that differed from what I was doing. One of the biggest things, obviously, is consistency and discipline in your trading plan, in your strategy. But with that, you have to be confident in your strategy also. And I was not. Most professional traders don't use indicators. and all that jazz, if you will. The one indicator that shows you everything. Most indicators are lagging, and they're behind the market. So I really took a look at how price action is I believe, what most professional traders trade. And, what are they looking for when they're trading? Again, most of them don't use indicators or, have anything on their charts and whatnot. So I completely changed my strategy and just started kind of learning where the market wants to go in order to go in the overall direction, right? So in other words, we have these pullbacks in the market, even though we're climbing or falling in an overall trend, we have these pullbacks, and the question is why? And it's because the market's always looking for liquidity in order to continue making moves. So I really kind of dived into how do I see that on the charts. And I found that if I look for, what do I want to call it? Areas of imbalance, if you will. Some people call them fair value gaps, or whatever. Those areas were the ones most likely the market would return to continue in the direction of the overall trend. So that's what I changed my strategy to. I got rid of all the indicators and I just look for areas of imbalance. And what I learned is you trade a lot less, because the market doesn't always give you areas of imbalance. Sometimes it just moves drastically in a direction and then suddenly changes direction and moves drastically in another direction. But that correlates with then the market being choppy or having high volatility, which is when you don't want to be trading anyway. So trying to look for areas of imbalance really kind of gave me an overall sense of what the market was doing without having to really look at anything else. No indicators, no other charts, the VVIX, this and that. It all kind of just made sense for once. It was eye-opening. And so I paper traded for a couple days and just stuck to that. And I did really, really well. Really well. I started off with a 66% win rate, and that was because I didn't follow the strategy 100%, and then I followed the strategy 100%, regardless of what I wanted to do, and that moved up to an 80% win rate. And the win rate isn't everything, but what it showed me was that particular strategy works if I follow it to the T. And obviously there's other things that go into that strategy, but it really kind of opened my eyes to what the market and how the big players actually play. And if you can get in at the same time that the big players are getting in, then you're all set, And if the market suddenly changes direction or what takes your stop loss out or whatever at that point, then it's okay. It's okay. I mean, the market's gonna do that. You're never gonna have a 100% win rate. So that's where we are. In full disclosure, I failed the last challenge that I was in. When I started doing the lives, I was in a challenge and I ended up failing that challenge. So this is a new challenge now that I'm already in drawdown with. So here we are. That's what I wanted to open up with. Failed another challenge, in a new challenge now, and working on a completely different strategy that doesn't involve all of the baloney that's out there with, you know, the one indicator with a 100% win rate. Like, nah. If I'm gonna learn how to do this, I want to learn how to do this the right way and not have to rely on some indicator that works right now but may not work in 2 months and this and that. I want to learn how to read the market with nothing on my charts and be able to decide when to take a trade and when not to take a trade, so that I can trade in any type of market. Up, down, choppy, volatile, whatever. And I think that's something that everybody should really think about when they're trying to make this work. You know, do you want to do this and have it be sustainable for you? Or do you want to just hop on the latest trend, you know, in this world, and you know, maybe make a bunch of money for a little while, but then can't hold on to it. You know, so I really kind of looked into that and looked into myself and said, you know, what kind of trader do I want to be? And it's not just a successful one. It's one that can last and be for a trader for as long as I want to be, and know that I can trust myself in doing that. So that's where we are. Completely changed my strategy. I'm going to stick to my strategy, and if that means that I don't take a trade in a day, then I don't trade. And I have to stick to that, because that's the part where I tend to go into drawdown and end up failing accounts. It's not because the strategy doesn't work or this, that, and the other thing. It's because I have not been patient enough to let the strategy give me the opportunities. And also, I've been doubting my entries because I wasn't 100% with confident in my strategy, or myself, to be honest. So those are the things that I'm working on now, and that is what I have to overcome in order to become funded, be profitable, and go at this full time before I can quit my job and just be here and, you know, trade without any emotion involved, just following simple rules, and make a living from it. That's it. So that's where we are. Right now, the market's not giving me anything. I can already tell that this is just choppiness, and there's not going to be any entries for me based off of that with what we got going on here. Looking for imbalances in the market. You know, first I need a break in structure, and then I need to look for an imbalance after the break in structure. And what this has given me is just chop. You know, yes, it's given me breaks in structure here, making higher highs, but we're not getting any imbalances on the way before it turns around and completely goes the other direction. So this is a moment or a market that I don't trade in. I have to wait for the market to kind of figure out where it wants to go and settle down and give me entries. And if it doesn't, then I don't trade. And I know that sounds really boring, and maybe it sounds counterintuitive, but it's not, because trying to force a trade is going to force losses, and if your losses are more than your gains, then you are always going to fail. So if I can have even just 2 really good trades a week that yield a simple 2-to-1 ratio, profit to loss ratio, then I'm winning. I'm moving in the right direction. And if I don't force a trade just because I feel like I need to trade in a day, then I'm not losing any of those gains. And even if I do, if I lose one because I followed my rules and that's just what happened, then I can be okay with that. But again, my gains are always going to be bigger than my losses, and I'm not going to be going backwards. So truth be told, I'm in the red already with this new challenge because I did not wait to get into the market. So that is something I know I must conquer in order for me to become successful. So from this point moving forward, I'm pledging that I'm going to wait for entries, even if it means I don't take a trade at all in a day. And I know that kind of sucks for you guys too, but I think that that is really, really important for somebody to be showing out here, because nobody does. Nobody does. I feel like people take trades, or they only post the trades that they take, and it makes everybody feel like you have to be trading in order to be successful, when it's honestly the complete opposite. You don't have to be trading every day in order to become successful. That is something that I fell for. There's a lot of stuff out there that makes it really, really confusing, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to go live every day in my account, even though I don't really know what I'm doing, to show people that, you know, this is what it's actually like, and it is doable. As long as you realize these few things that I'm talking about right now. So I hope that this is helping some of you out. And if you know other people that are struggling, especially with those particular things, you know, share this video, and let's let's build a community here and get this done. Get this done. So essentially, I'm looking to, find a bias on direction of the day. This is not it. This is a bias of sideways trading today. And then within that bias, look for entries that correlates with the direction of the day. The way I look for those entries is I look for break in structure, and then I look for areas of imbalance, and I wait for price to re-enter those areas, and I look at how the price reacts in those areas, and if it reacts in a way where it is going to continue in the overall direction, I take my entries within those areas of imbalance, which gives me a really nice tight stop loss with a really nice RR. That's all this is. And it took me 3 years to realize that. So I'm here to help a lot of you realize that sooner, so that you can become successful and profitable sooner. It can be done, but you got to figure out yourself, just like me. I'm going to be designing and creating a trading journal that I will have available soon. And I'll leave links for that when I do. We'll talk about that coming up. I don't know if that alarm is going through onto the... No, I don't think it is. But I have just a simple alert set on TradingView for the VVIX at 100. And because, above 100 gives strong sense that the market's going to be volatile. So I just like to know where the VVIX is and if it's crossing that area. We've been stuck around 99, 100, and in a range a little above and below that for a little while now. So, and again, you could just tell by these long candles and huge wicks that this is volatility, right? And so we don't trade in volatility. I'm going to turn that off, actually. Pause. So we are, well, no, we're just reaching kind of highs of the day. It's not really any particular place, even in previous sessions today. So I don't. And we're kind of reacting the same way that the market reacted the last time we reached. But again, I gotta, I would need to see a break and close, above these highs here, which would give me maybe a sense of direction, but it would have to continue, and it would have to give me an entry. It'd have to give me a place of imbalance to enter in. Otherwise, I will not take a trade. So on the 4-hour chart here, we're testing a resistance area. Boy. So I've been off of my full-time job for the last 3 months now because my wife and I had a baby, and we were both on leave for that, and it was really nice to be able to take the 3 months off together and still get paid for it, which really gave me some time to focus on trading, but that time has lapsed now, and I have to go back to work today, which is kind of a big bummer for me. I'll do what I have to do, obviously. I really wanted to make this work here, but that's the other thing with this, is you can't put that kind of pressure on you, because that affects your decision making in this trading game. You can't have those kinds of emotions attached to this, because you will make bad choices. So I've accepted the fact that I have to go back to work and continue doing this while I still have a paycheck coming in, to again do this the right way, right? How many of you out there are trying to learn trading while you're still working full-time or part-time or whatever it is at your 9 to 5? Let me know in the comments down below. That's where I'm at. So it looks like we just retraced into an area maybe where there are a decent amount of buyers here. This price area here seems to be a good price where buyers are coming in. Let's see how this candle closes. Yeah, so we're still getting some buyers coming in there at that price range. Which means nothing really other than the fact that I'm going to look for it to continue upward. But I got to, again, wait for an opportunity to buy in. So I'd have to see a break in structure here with a decent, you know, push forward. And then I'd have to wait for it to give me some kind of an imbalance area in order to look for an entry. So yeah, we held a bit of a support here. We do have a lot of buyers coming in this price range here. So it gives me a little bit more confidence in a direction, at least. And now the confidence is less. So if we break below this wick here, then we're just waiting to, and there that is. Yeah, okay. So we got some selling pressure to come in, but I'd really have to see like a complete change in direction here. I want to see a break below these lows here and a sustained break in order for me to pick a direction, a bias today. Otherwise, if we get stuck in this range trading, then that's not an environment that I trade in. And I'm going to hold to that because I don't want to continue to go into any more drawdown in my account. So we're getting some nice strong candles to the downside. So on the 4 hour, if we do continue and break through and hold, then I'd like to see it continue down into an area of imbalance that was left a day or two ago on the 4 hour chart. I think that's what we might be aiming for. The overall trend, 4 hour day and the day, is up. So we have a break in structure here, right? Depending on where we close here, we may have an area of imbalance, which is right here. My problem is we haven't actually shown a direction yet. And because we don't have a direction yet, this area of entry, number one, is pretty big, and number two, is dangerous still. It's risky. Because we don't have a direction. And we're actually filling that right now. So these spreads look much bigger than they used to be. I don't know what's going on with the spreads here lately, but they are expanding, I feel like. So we came into this area of imbalance, but I don't like it. And number one, we're still in a volatile market here. We don't have really a change in direction. We're still trending up, right? So to look for a short here would probably not be a great idea. What I could do is, if this area of imbalance gets disrespected, which it just did, I may look to enter along here on that. But again, the problem is what am I targeting? Just the highs of this morning, because it shows here that we are getting resistance here, and it may just be targeting again these highs, and then we're going to get rejected because we're in a choppy market right now. There is no clean, clear direction right now, and without a clean, clear direction for me, there isn't a good entry. It's not an entry that's worth taking, in my opinion. So just to kind of point out what I was looking at here, just so everybody can see. This is an area of imbalance because of these long candles down. We had a break in structure. We got a decent push down. And between these two wicks here, we created an imbalance, but we immediately disrespected that imbalance and are now pushing back to the other side. So this has been taken out already now. It means nothing anymore. You know. Again, the only thing that I might be able to do here is look for this to test in here as a rejection, which we did kind of get here, to see if we are going to continue to the upside. But again, because of the type of market that we're getting here and all of this chop, these large candles and wicks show me that there is no direction in the market right now. And which means the choppiness is going to take out stop losses, you know, every time. So I'm not getting in. All right, so some traders, you know, maybe would have gotten in long here because we disrespected that area of imbalance. We came in and retested, and then your stop loss would have been, you know, on the other side of this area of imbalance, and this would have taken your stop loss out, and now we're just going to play this back and forth game that just destroys retail traders' accounts. So I'd rather wait. Let's see how we're going to react now in this area. Lows of the day. This was market open here. So this is the furthest point that we pushed down to in market open. Let's see where 15 minutes is. 9:45. Right, all the way at the top. So if I was going to set up an open range here, just for shits and giggles. Where's 45 here, right? 44, 45. So here's the high. Here's your opening range for the first 15 minutes. And that's where we're getting our resistance. This is where we're getting our support. We're trading sideways still, and that is not an environment to trade in, at least in my opinion. You can be risky and you can try to buy in at the highs and the lows, targeting, you know, the opposite direction, but that's super risky and that's beyond my risk. This is the environment that I blow my account on every time. That's what I've learned. The accounts that I have lost is because I've waited to get into entries during times like today, and I got impatient and I tried to force a trade, and stop loss was taken out after stop loss was taken out after stop loss, because I became impatient. So that is going to change. I'm not going to do that anymore. And that one change could be the difference between success and failure for me. And I realize that, and so I'm going to focus on that. And I gotta wait. You know, there might be days where you don't trade. And so we had another break in structure here, right? We made another low. But right after this candle that broke the structure, the following candle filled up the entire, what would have been a area of imbalance, right? So it didn't leave any area of imbalance. So there's no entry here. And that's what happens with this type of market. If you look here closely, the wicks don't leave any imbalanced areas, and you just get this choppiness, and it doesn't give you any entries. Now again, if you want to be risky, and I'm not suggesting this, obviously this is not advice whatsoever. Again, I am new and I do not know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's make that very clear. So don't copy or listen to anything I'm saying. I'm just talking out loud, basically for me, right? I'm just expressing what's going through my head so that you guys can see what my thinking is and how I'm learning. There are some people that will identify a range day and look to target the very highs and lows of the day. So if this again respects the low here, you might say that we're going to trade back to the top side. It doesn't have to, and there's absolutely no guarantee that it will, and there is no direction in this market today. Let's make that very clear. So that kind of trading is very risky, and you just have to decide what kind of risk you want to put in. That's to each their own, honestly. For me, no thank you. Again, my opinion, my ideas, don't copy me, and don't listen. Don't take that as advice. And one of the biggest things that I believe makes people want to trade regardless of whether there are entries or not is because they want to get this quick, right? It is not a get rich quick thing. It's not. You can get lucky, but that's all it was. It's luck. And I don't want to be that kind of trader. I want to be the lucky one where I made a ton of money, being lucky, but then I can't sustain it. And I end up putting myself in a position where, maybe now I don't have a job and the market's not working out for me and my luck has run out. So again, accepting that this takes time, years usually for most successful traders, I'm going to take my time with it. And I'm just going to let it give me what it's going to give me. That's it. I'd like to hear your opinions on being a new trader, or if you're watching this and you're already successful, what were the things that you had to do or change in order to reach your milestones or get over, you know, the hump of failure versus success? You know, what was the one thing that you changed that made you successful from that point forward? Let me know. Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from everybody. Choppy, choppy, choppy. So I basically give this to about noon. If we don't really get any change or a sense of direction by noon, then I'm all done for the day. There's no sense in just sitting here, you know, set some alerts, go enjoy life. Don't let this completely take over your life, because the whole point of doing this is to be able to have the time to enjoy life more, right? So, you know, set alerts, do what you need to do. You can trade on your phone, whatever, from wherever. Don't sit here for, you know, 8 hours a day staring at these charts. There's really no reason. Tomorrow's another day. So I'm gonna hang out for a couple more minutes here, guys. Again, you know, comments down below, questions, comments, advice, whatever. Leave those comments down below. Check out the description. I left some links in the description down below for the programs that I use to trade, who I'm using to become funded, who this challenge is through. It's called Funder Pro. They're great service. They just opened up a futures end of their company, where they now offer funded accounts for futures. I know it's a big thing. So really, really good company, expanding appropriately, I'd say, and they're doing a great job. Fair. They don't have any trailing drawdown, even in their futures. It's a static drawdown daily, which is really good, especially for markets like today. Yeah, great support. They're very, very active in the community, and you know, getting information out and helping people try to get funded. So check them out, link in the description down below. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for me today, everyone. Really appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for me. Again, I appreciate it. It helps out the channel, helps me get some more reach out there to hopefully be able to help some other people like me get through this process, and together we can become successful, create a community where we can thrive in. All right, that's my goal. So hit that subscribe button, follow me on my social accounts, and I will see everyone tomorrow morning. Have a great day, everyone.